friends, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Thank you so much for coming back if you've been here before. If you are new to the channel, every single Sunday I post a new pick a card reading that you, the viewer, get to vote on. And today's winner is your future spouse's secret side. So what is the side to your future spouse that is only for you, that only you will have access to? So we are going to be diving deep into this subject today. As always, I have three piles. Pile number one is going to be the Light Seer's Lovers card. Pile number two is the Lovers card from the Mythos Tarot deck, and that is with Goddess Aphrodite on there. And pile number three is going to be the Addams family, Gomez and Morticia Addams, the Lovers card from that deck. That is a only majors deck, so keep that in mind. I do not have a full deck. It's just the majors only. But it is available online if you want to find it, if you want to purchase it, because it is a very beautiful deck, if you ask me. But anyways, ask yourself which pile or maybe piles have a message for you. Pause the video if you need to, but let's talk about what you can expect during this reading. All right, so for this reading, we are going to kick the reading off by looking at the mask. So how your future spouse shows up with others, the mask that they wear, how they choose to show up in public spaces, what they show to other people. We are going to move into their hidden self. So who are they beneath the surface? What is hidden that only those truly close to them will know, also known as you, right, my viewer? So then we're going to look at their secret self. So what do they keep private? What do they purposely kind of keep to themselves? We're going to look at what they only show you. So this is going to be a side that is not only kept private, but it's only reserved for you. Then we're going to move into their vulnerable side. So what fear, wound, or maybe even tender spot that they kind of don't openly share that exist within your future spouse. We're also going to look at a hidden strength or blessing that they're going to share with you when they come into your life. We will then move into how you unlock this side of them. So what about you helps them open up? And then we're going to talk about what is your future spouse going to love about you. And we're going to talk about a message your future spouse's higher self has for you at this time. We're also going to close the reading with some additional advice cards that are just meant for you. So if this sounds like something that you are interested in, stick around. If this is where you leave me, I hope you come back soon and I hope you have a great week. But let's get started. Hello, pile number one. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the Lovers card from the Light Seer's Tarot deck. Why did I almost forget that deck? I don't know when I use it so often, but welcome to your reading. So as a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. Also, for this reading, I did do a reading breakdown at the beginning. I highly suggest that you check that out because it's going to tell you exactly what is going to be covered during this reading. So we are going to get started by looking at your future spouse's kind of persona, the mask that they wear, and then we're going to take a look at the deeper side to them, right? That kind of hidden self, what they keep to themselves, what they don't share with just anyone. And then we're going to kind of keep going with the reading. I will be shuffling on camera for this reading. So let's get started here. Let's see the first energies that are coming through. We have the starfish. Ooh, we have phoenix energy. And we have transformation. For their hidden self, we have snake energy. Okay. We have scorpion energy. And we have listen. Okay. So pile number one, let's talk about this. We do have the Phoenix card coming up in this reading. So for your future spouse, all 12 signs, zodiac signs, this in this specific deck, the Phoenix card represents the element of spirit, which would be all 12 zodiac signs. So just keep that in mind. Nothing is really standing out. If I'm completely honest, there could be some, water, earth, and fire very prominent here, but honestly, everything really is represented here. But let's start by talking about who your future spouse is, especially how they show up, because this starfish side of them is the first side that you're probably going to encounter when it comes to your future spouse, because they're not going to show you everything that's underneath the surface right away. And your future spouse is going to be someone that has a very captivating energy. I do think this person is very physically attractive, like very conventionally beautiful, attractive. There's something about them that is just very captivating. I do think we have the starfish. There's something about this person where they stand out. They're very good looking. They know how to carry themselves. I also think this is someone that's very charismatic. I think this is also somebody that comes across as very confident, comes across as someone who has it all together. I almost wonder if this person can at times also come across as a bit overly confident. So there is a little bit of a cocky energy, especially at first sight. And we're going to talk more about the hidden self. But when it comes to the mask, your future spouse really wants other people to see them as successful, to see them as very well put together, to see them like this is not someone that wants people to see their vulnerability. This is not someone that is going to lead with vulnerability. This is someone that is going to come across as like very strong, very well put together. I also think that there's something about your future spouse that really stands out. This could be somebody that has some sort of public persona or some sort of public position. Like this could be somebody that's in politics. This could be somebody that is famous to some degree, whether it's in the community or more at a bigger scale, in a bigger level. This could be somebody that has some sort of following. This is someone that has a very there's something about your future spouse that at first sight is almost flashy. And I have to say it because it's coming up pile number one, but that's how it's coming up. It's almost like a flashy energy. And this does come across as somebody that may seem even superficial or even a little shallow at first glance. But I think that this person really does this on purpose. This person is very intentional about showing up in this way and about not really opening up to others about like what they carry deep within. I also do think because the Phoenix card is a card of rebirth and transformation, we also have the butterfly here on this transformation card. So there's something about your future spouse that in the way that they show up in the world in everyday life, there's something very transformative about their energy. This is someone that is constantly changing, constantly evolving. I do feel for many of you, this person is in the limelight in some sense or some form, because that keeps coming up. And again, for some, it may be at a smaller level, and for others, it could be at a bigger level. Like there's some sort of recognition. There is some sort of position that this person has that they are recognized, whether it's in the community or at a larger scale. I also do think that your future spouse is someone that has spent a lot of time and energy really perfecting this persona that they put out into the world, really making sure that their brand, like this person feels like the type of person that has a brand, that it's not only about them, the person, but it's about them representing, whether it's, this person is like a lawyer and they're representing a legal firm, or they're a influencer of some sort, or they have a business of some sort. Like there's something that they are representing. For some, this person could absolutely be in politics, but there's something that they're representing that feels almost like it's a brand, or they have kind of made themselves into a little bit of a brand when it comes to their persona. So they're very careful about protecting that energy, and they're very careful about keeping up the facade. This is very intentional because we're going to get to this, but their hidden self is coming up as the snake and the scorpion. There's a lot more to this person than meets the eye, but for some reason, they want people to think that what they see is what they get, but there's a lot more in there. And I do think that this person is a lot more intelligent and a lot more planned out. This person does a lot of planning, a lot of like putting together ideas and plans about how they want to be perceived and what comes next. But they want it to look very natural. They want it to look like they're kind of there's an element of your future spouse that they want people to think that they don't care. They want people to think that they are more confident than what they actually are. And from the outside looking in, you would believe that. Like, I don't think many people question that what they have in front of them, there's something underneath the surface, or there's a lot more underneath the surface, I should say. I also think that this person can be very charming, and they're very smooth with their words, and there's almost something about them that is like very fun and mysterious at the same time. Again, they want to keep it that way. They don't really want to show too much. For some of you, this person could be like in in music, maybe in a band, or this could be like a singer or somebody that plays an instrument. Take it as it resonates. But there is something very creative about their energy, especially the energy that they show out into the world. I also think that this person does like the finer things in life. So they make it a point to like really wear nice things, to own nice things. Like, I do think this is somebody that has like a luxury car for most of you, or there's something about the way that they dress, something about the way that they move about the world that is very luxurious. That's coming through as well. And I would not be surprised if this is the type of person that has a lot of brand name items. There's something along those lines that keeps coming up for them. And I think that one thing that your future spouse wants to really show other people is that they are never stuck. They are never out of options. They are never out of opportunities. They want people to know everything that is available to them, and they want people to know that they are going to continue to grow and expand, especially when it comes to finances and when it comes to kind of like the opportunities that are available to them. I would not be surprised if this person is very successful in whatever field they are in, and that's part of where this recognition comes from, is what they do for a living. And there is a level of success here, whether it's local or whether it's more national, international. It's big. This person is known. This is the type of person, when you're going out with them, people are going to know them. People are going to recognize them. For some of them, they could play a sport. Let's talk about their hidden self. Let's talk about who they are beneath this surface, beneath this very shiny surface, because we have the snake. And I do think that beneath the surface, they still have that charisma, they still have that creativity. But I also think they're not as secure as they want to have other people believe. Because I do think that this is someone that has a good amount of self-doubt. And I also do think that this is someone that can overcompensate a little bit because of certain insecurities. I also think that this person, your future spouse, has so much depth to them than what they give themselves credit for. And I think that a lot of what they don't show is the wisdom that they have, the wisdom that they have gained. I also think that this is someone who isn't showing that they do care what other people think, that they do want to be liked, that they do want to be received in a very specific way, because there is almost like a I don't care, I do what I want type of energy to them that they show to the world. But I also think that there's a lot of vulnerability that comes with that. I also think that underneath the surface, what your future spouse hides is how hard they have to work to keep up this facade, to keep up this persona, to keep up this side of themselves. Because I do think this is someone that works incredibly hard. And there's something about them, especially when they show up in the public world or when they show themselves to people that are not very close to them, where they don't want those people to see just how much hard work and effort goes into maintaining their lifestyle and maintaining their success. I do also think that your future spouse, part of what they keep hidden is just how tired they are. And I do think this is someone that from time to time, they kind of just want to take a break and they kind of just want to rest a little bit, but it's very hard for them to do that. I also think that this is someone that kind of struggles with wanting to be the best and wanting to be at the top. And sometimes that can feel very overwhelming, especially when they feel their place is being threatened. So I do think that this is someone that is very competitive, and they do use their competitive nature to push them ahead and to motivate them. But I also do think that part of their shadow side, or part of what they do not show, is that they can have a jealous side. And again, they're not as secure as they would want other people to believe. I also think that this is someone that carries a lot of weight, a lot of burdens. And I do think that your future spouse longs for understanding and longs for someone to truly see them for who they are. But at the same time, there's a fear, there's a separation that they purposely have built walls around themselves. And I do think that this person does spend a lot of time on their own that they don't want other people to know. I also think that your future spouse has dealt with loneliness at some point, and they could be dealing with loneliness up until the point that they meet you, like on and off, because there's something about them not letting others in that really does get in the way of them truly connecting and finding connections that feel deep, that feel trustworthy. So this does feel like somebody that has a lot of like acquaintances, a lot of people around them, but those people aren't necessarily always the people that they're able to trust and go deep with. Pile number 1, let's get started here. So we are going to start by looking at their secret self. So what do they keep private? What do they like purposely keep away from others? That you are going to be aware of? What is it for my pile number 1s for their future spouse? What is this person's secret self? Tell me more about this person's secret self. And this is probably going to be a little similar to this hidden self, but we're going to try to go deeper with the secret self. Let's take a look at what we have here. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Wands. Let's see what else we have here. We have the Hierophant, the Page of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. Pile number 1, your future spouse is a lot softer, a lot more sensitive, a lot more tender than what they want other people to realize. That's part of what they keep hidden. We have the Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck here, and I think that this is like one of the perfect cards to describe what's going on underneath the surface for this person, because I do think that your future spouse can struggle with their creativity, especially if they've been established in this persona, in this role that they've assigned to themselves for a while. I do think from time to time they do feel creatively blocked, and they do feel almost trapped within the mask, right? Within the persona, within the brand that they have built for themselves. I also think that part of their hidden self is just how tired, how exhausted, how burnt out they are, and how much they are struggling with that burnout, how much they are struggling to keep up with all of the responsibilities. Because again, this person wants it to seem very easy. This person wants it to seem very natural, very organic, but they do work very hard for what they have. I also think that part of your future spouse's secret self is that they don't necessarily believe all of the things that they say. And I want to be clear here. I don't think this person is a liar, but I do think that this person kind of has built this, again, almost like this shallow self, this shallow version of themselves. And I think part of what they keep secret and part of what they keep hidden is how deep they are, how much they do think about bigger subjects, how much they do want to dive deeper into certain things. So there's something about like the cage that they have built around themselves that can be a little bit hard for them. And I also think that one thing that they keep secret is, again, their sensitivity, their desire for connection, their desire for romance. Because I do think this is a person that really wants romance. I do think this is a person that really desires love and a relationship and a long-lasting partnership. But I also think that this is someone who has had a lot of trouble dating. And to be completely honest, I do think this is by design, because I do think that your future spouse has dated a lot of people that have also been surface level as well. And I think that a big lesson for this person is learning to open up, learning to allow someone in, learning to go after what they want. I also think that they do have a little bit of like a I want to make sure I say this correctly, because I don't think this person is out here playing games and lying to other people like in romantic situations. But I do think this is someone that has kept the connections very surface level, and someone that really wants something deeper than what they are allowing themselves to even explore. So there is an element of that. Like, I do think this is the type of person that is dating people based on looks, and they've had those like very surface level relationships, but your future spouse wants something deeper. It's also about having the trust to allow themselves to experience something deeper, to let someone in. This is someone that really struggles with vulnerability. And I do think that they are doing the work. And I want to make this clear. When you are with this person, you're going to know that this isn't who they are anymore. But we're talking about their hidden self. We're talking almost like, I don't want to say the shadow self, but it could almost be like shadow self. And for this person, for your future spouse, there's that part of self that like they don't share just how romantic they are. And for you, pile number one, once you know this person, once you have connected with your future spouse, they're still gonna kind of not be as open about the relationship, in the sense of this is not somebody that is going to share their personal life. Again, this feels like the type of person that like their life is very much public, but they're going to want to keep certain aspects more private. That's not to say that this person isn't going to claim you. That's not to say that this person isn't going to share the fact that they found you and that they have their person, because I do think they are. But I don't think this is going to be someone who's going to be sharing too much about their life, because one thing that they're going to cherish is the relationship that you build together. This is somebody that is very interesting. This feels like somebody who's like really famous for some of you, or has some extent of fame. Let's take a look at what will they only show you. So what is the side of them that is reserved just for your eyes? I'm very curious to see what this is, because This is a very, I don't want to say complicated, but they kind of feel a little complicated. I'm not going to lie. The Two of Wands. They're going to share their true self with you. They're going to share their dreams, their desires. They're going to share what they want for the future, what they envision for the future with you. I also think that they're going to be able to open up with you, pile number one, and share those parts of themselves that maybe they haven't shown anyone else. Share those parts of themselves that they have not let anyone else see out of a place of fear, out of a place of insecurity. And I also think that they're going to share with you when things aren't going right, right? When they feel stuck, when they feel like they're not where they're meant to be, because this is somebody that is very hard on themselves. You know what's funny, pile number one? I said August 2025. This is timeless, but I'm recording this in August 2025. I said I'm going to keep it light and fun. And this pile's reading is going way deeper than what I thought we were going to go. Let's take a look. So, pile number one, what is the side that is reserved just for you? Let's take a look here. The Seven of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, the Eight of Cups. I actually love this. I love this. So pile number one, when it comes to the side that your future spouse is going to reserve for you and just for you, I think you're going to be one of the only people, besides like maybe close family members, that are going to see this very soft side of your future spouse. This very gentle, sensitive, soft side of your future spouse. Like that is going to be reserved for you. I also think that those moments of just complete intimacy, privacy, those moments of downtime, your future spouse is going to reserve them for you. So they're really going to make it a point to create opportunities for connection, to create opportunities for both of you going deep and both of you truly getting to kind of explore and know one another. What's interesting about this pile is that I think for your future spouse, having those private, intimate moments, those moments where it's just the two of you, is going to be one of the things that they cherish the most. And it's going to be one of the times that they feel they can be themselves, that they don't feel like they have to be turned on. They don't feel like they have to be something that they are not, that they don't feel like they have to hide behind what is expected of them. For some of you, it could even be that this person comes from a family that is very well known, or from a family that has very high expectations. But I do think for most of you, this is someone that also comes with like a level of abundance in the monetary sense and fame and recognition that really keeps them kind of in a loop that they're trying to break free from, but at the same time, they've kind of gotten used to. And the side of them that they're going to reserve for just you is also that passionate side, right? Like they're going to show you that sensitivity. They're going to show you that passion. They're going to show you that they love you. I do think this is somebody that is very much like physical touch, spending time together, intimacy is going to be very important to your future spouse, and a very important way that they show you how they care and how much they care about you. I also think that a part of what part of them that is going to be just reserved, or a side of them that is going to be reserved just for you, is going to be the part of them that kind of just it's the deeper side of them. It's the part of them that can share their innermost deep thoughts and feelings. It's not the persona, it's the real person. It's the person underneath the mask, underneath the expectations. And they're going to share a lot with you that is going to be very deep, that they have not shared with other people. I also think that your future spouse, the side that they're really going to reserve for you is the side of them that is also planning for a future with you. This doesn't feel like someone that has ever been married. This doesn't feel like someone that has necessarily been in a super serious relationship, in the sense of like, it wasn't, even if it was a long lasting or long-term relationship, it wasn't a relationship where they were able to show up and be themselves and show themselves and have enough trust to be themselves. Yeah, I also think that this person is really going to spoil you. Pile number one. Like, this is somebody who's going to, like, take you on trips. This is somebody who's going to buy you really nice gifts. This is somebody who's going to really show you their love and care. I also feel like this person is like a provider. For many of you, this person feels like they are established. Whether it's from family, whether it's their, like, even if it is a family connection, they still work very hard. Don't get me wrong. I want to see their vulnerable side. So what's a fear, wound, or tender spot that they don't openly share? What is a fear? And we've kind of been tapping into this person's fears and wounds, but let's see if there's anything else that wants to come through as far as their vulnerable side. For my pile number ones, for their future spouse, what's this vulnerable side here? It's going to be those three. Bottom of the deck, the Five of Swords. Yeah, they're very insecure. I actually don't want to say very insecure. They question themselves more than what anyone from the outside in would think. They're also, this is also somebody that is not as confident as they want people to think. Let's take a look here. The Two of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and the Star card. So when it comes to their vulnerable side, this is someone that is very nervous or very cautious around opening themselves up and giving their heart. Your future spouse does not want to have their heart broken, and I do think that that is why they have chosen relationships in the past that were very surface level, because there is a part of this person that doesn't want to be fully seen for who they are. There's some sort of expectation even that, like, what people want is what they think this person is, but what's really there is something much deeper. So there is almost this this fear, I'm going to say fear, this fear for your future spouse that they're not going to live up to the expectation. And I also think that's why they rely on this persona version of themselves. I also think this is someone that really truly wants connection, but at the same time is afraid of connection. This is someone that is very romantic, but at the same time has the fear of getting their heart broken. And one thing I will say that they're going to be able to be very vulnerable with you is they are going to be very romantic. They are going to show you that very romantic side to them. And it could be with this Ten of Swords being here, it could be for some of you that they did open their heart to someone and got their heart broken. But I do think that for a while, this person was doing like very surface level, very like almost like situationships where they were really keeping it surface level very purposefully. I will also say, with your future spouse, a very vulnerable spot to them is them trying to figure out why certain people are in their lives or why certain people would want to be in their lives. Yeah, it's like they question if they can live up to the expectation. They question if they can live up to what the other person wants from them. And there may even be questions of, is this for me or is this for what comes with me? This is why I really do feel pile number one, if you know this person, you don't have to tell me who they are, but like, is this person well known? Put it in the comments. I want to know. Because this feels like somebody that is like, I have to be careful. And also this feels like somebody who may have experiences, maybe not even in romance, maybe just in platonic relationships as well, where people were kind of showing up and wanting something from them, and it has them questioning why. It has them questioning intentions. Let's take a look at a hidden strength or blessing that they'll share with you. What is a hidden strength or blessing that this person is going to share with my pile number ones? A hidden strength or blessing that this person is going to share with my pile number ones. Let's see, pile number one, the sun. Yeah, they're going to share their joy. They're going to share happy moments with you. They're going to share vulnerabilities with you. The Queen of Cups, their emotional self, right? Their love, their... I keep saying vulnerability, but that's what's coming through. The High Priestess, their inner world. That Five of Swords, their fears. What this person is going to, like, gift you, almost, is all of them. Is the real version of them. The version of them that maybe only they themselves know. Because I would not be surprised if this is somebody who's like family also has like these very high expectations. I also think, pile number one, that you're going to be surprised by their ability to be emotionally available and to be there for you. Because I do think that this is going to be a connection when you meet. You may not even be sure that this is your person. You may not even be sure that you want to give them an opportunity because of how they show up and the persona that they put out. There's almost this sense of, do I want to open myself to this? Do I want to try this? Like, I don't think this is the person for me. I do think the attraction is going to be there, but I do think you're going to question whether you want to spend time and energy with them. And part of what they're going to gift you, part of what they're going to almost like bless you with, is so much love. And I think that they're going to be able, like, your future spouse is going to understand you in ways that is also going to help you feel seen. Because I do think that you have a lot of things in common. And if you're watching this and you're like, this sounds like me, it could very well be because you're both going through very similar things. But I also think for you, my viewer, one of the things that you truly want is someone who is going to love you for you and be open to loving you. And to seeing you for who you are, and romantic. And that's what they're going to bring in. This feels like a couple where behind closed doors, it's almost like beautifully magical. And I'm not saying that when you're in public, that's not the case. But I think for both of you, you can open so much more in your private moments, in your intimate moments. I also think, pile number one, that this is someone that is going to really know how to make you happy and really know how to give you the things that you need so that you can be happy. Let's take a look at how you unlock this side of them. So what about you helps them open up? What about my pile number ones helps their future spouse open up? What is it about my pile number ones that helps their future spouse open up? Bottom of the deck, the Four of Pentacles. We also see the Chariot card, the Five of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. Pile number one, I do think one thing that is going to help your future spouse open up is the fact that they're going to realize that you are somebody who is very solid. You are someone who you say what you mean. You don't play games. You're not out to, you're not out to get anyone. I also think there's a very stable energy to you, a very grounded energy to you. I also do think that what helps them open up, or what helps you help them open up, is the fact that you do have some experiences in common. You are someone that you have a lot of emotional depth, and you may have some experiences in common with them. You also, there's something very comforting about your energy. And there's something that, like, you show this person, you show your future spouse that you are reliable, that you are someone who is always going to keep your word. I also think there is a level, and this is going to sound very cliche. I know this is going to sound cliche. There's a level of recognition, there's a level of soul recognition between the two of you. But I think this is more about you being yourself. And it's like a very gradual, the more you get to know each other, the easier it is for this person to open up, because of who you are and how you carry yourself. Let's take a look at what your future spouse is going to love about you. So for my pile number ones, what is their future spouse going to absolutely love about my pile number ones? Let's see, pile number one. What is your future spouse going to love about you? I heard a lot of things. 8 of Pentacles. I really do think that this person is going to love you, how you carry yourself, but also how you make them feel. And I do think, you know how some people say, like, I want somebody who's going to bring peace to my life. I want somebody who feels like home. It feels like that's part of what your future spouse is going to love about you, that you feel like home to them. You feel safe to them. You feel like peace and harmony to them. The King of Wands, the 3 of Pentacles, the Emperor card. You also have a lot in common, and your future spouse is going to love that about you. I also think that you are somebody that is very eccentric in some ways at the same time, and your future spouse is going to love that about you as well. As far as physical attributes, I do want to mention the eyes, because I'm seeing something about the eyes, about, like, either it could be the eye color, it could be about the intensity of your gaze, it could be about, like, just when you two connect and you lock eyes, there's something very beautiful coming through that they love about your eyes. I also think that for some of you, it's your smile. Pile number one, I'm hearing your future spouse is going to love how warm you are as well. I also think that you are both very compatible when it comes to intimacy. I did do an 18 plus. It's on Patreon. It's there because I can't put it on YouTube. It's not behind a paywall. You can check it out. It's completely free. But pile number one, I also think that this person is going to love the fact that they can talk to you about anything. They're going to love the fact that you both prioritize one another, that you both have similar desires and plans for the future. For some of you, there's something about your hips or butt area. Listen, take that as it resonates. It's coming through. I have to say it. Some of you dress very beautifully. Some of you are very sensual. There's a lot of, like, 18 plus connection to this pile. I have to say that. I'm going to keep it as PG as possible, but I'll say it that way. There's a lot of, like, intimacy here and a lot of just passion and strong chemistry between the two of you. This person is going to love your fiery energy, pile number 1. You're going to always be honest with them, and you're going to call them out on their SHIT when you have to. Like, you're not going to take crap from them either. You're going to call them out. You're going to make them see what they're doing when they're doing something that is bothering you, or where they're doing something that you don't agree with. Like, you're not going to... This person is used to a lot of, like, yes men. That's not going to be you. You're going to call them out. You're going to challenge them. They're going to love that about you. Yeah, and they're going to love the life that they're going to build with you. There's something very confident about you, pile number 1. Especially, like, you're not going to take anything from them that is not within... You're not going to take any crap from them. That's the way I'm going to put that. Let's take a look at what is a message from your future spouse's higher self. So what is the message from their higher self? What message does their higher self want you to know right now? Bottom of the deck, the 3 of Wands. Okay, let's see what else we have here, because I'm already getting messages, but I want it. Yep. Pile number 1, one thing that your future spouse's higher self wants you to know at this time is that your person is doing a lot of inner work. Your person is going through a period of transformation, and your person is figuring out how they are going to get to where they want to be. So for some of you, if you know this person, it could be that at this point in time, they're kind of doing a lot of inner work. There may even be some sort of separation. There may even be some sort of like no contact going on, because they're focused on themselves and they're having to do the work. They're having to face their shadow self. They're also being very intentional about what they are going to manifest going forward. I also think that this person is having to face their truth, and their higher self wants you to know that this is manifesting, that this relationship, this connection, whether you know this person or not, this is being manifested. Their higher self is coming through and saying they're doing the work. You are also, for many of you, you're also doing some work on your end. And I also think that this is their higher self coming in and saying it's going to come together. It's being worked on. I do think for this group, there's a lot of like angelic help and maybe even some spirit guides helping both of you find one another. Yeah, that's coming through. Like there's a lot of help to help both of you come together and find one another, whether you know this person and you're in separation or whether you've never met them. And their higher self is saying, like, we are lighting a fire under this person's butt. Like, we are just lighting a fire to make sure that they do what they need to do and they open up and they get to the point where they are not only ready, but willing to connect with you. Pile number 1. Let's see what else we have here. So I picked some cards. These cards are meant to be advice for you, my viewer. Let's see what we have here. We're going to start with some astrology cards. We have Uranus, change. Yeah, there's a lot of change. Pile number 1, for some of you, it's you also going through this change, right? It's you going through these shifts. And for some of you, you have been doing like actively working on some shadow work. So if that's the case, keep doing what you are doing, keep moving forward. This is also saying things are going to fall into place, and some things may fall apart so that other things can fall into place. We have Pluto here. Yeah, rebirth. Again, change, rebirth. There is also, with Pluto, Scorpio energy coming into place here, right? So there is shadow work. There is like just having to go through the unconscious, subconscious mind, doing healing, having to kind of face the things that aren't working. We have 2 + 5, 7 in numerology, and 2 + 7, 9. So this is a time where there is a lot of inner work happening, whether you are aware of that or not. And I think that you're both making so much progress. Let's see what else we have here. Like attracts like. If you long for more love, be more loving. So bringing more love into your life, romanticizing your life, experiencing more love, whether it's even like platonic love or whether even a pet, right? I mean, that is platonic love, but you know what I mean? Like bringing more love into your life and also being in a place where you can attract the person that you want. And I do think that for this pile, whether it's you, it's your future spouse, or it's both of you, that is what's being worked on right now. Being in a place where you can receive what you want, where they can receive what they want. And especially if you do resonate with this pile, for your future spouse, they are in a place where they do have to do a little bit of work before they get to a place where they can meet you and allow you in. And that's what's happening right now. Then we have ask for help. What do you really need? Be willing to accept support. So also asking the universe, asking your angels, asking your guides for what it is that you really need, and not being afraid to also, connect with friends and loved ones and allow them to support you. Let's take a look, pile number 1, see what we have here. So we have trust. I trust that everything will be okay in the end, partly because I simply know it in my gut, but also because it's way more fun to live with trust and confidence than to be a defensive wiener. We also have impermanence. Life is always changing, and I drift easily through those changes, good and bad. As I drift through the hard times, I can take comfort in knowing that I will leave them behind. As I drift away from the good times, I can take comfort in knowing that more will come my way. Impermanence is an equal opportunity non-entity. And then we have divine timing. Everything is timing, and timing is everything. Gladly, I release my concern over timing and let things happen when and as they will. I trust that the divine schedule makers know what they're doing. It can take a long time to reach divine middle management. Pile number 1. That is exactly it. I think that's the perfect card to end this on. You know what? Claim it in the comments. I surrender to divine timing and know that love is on its way to me. I surrender to divine timing and know that love is on its way to me. Because this person is on their way to you already, and they are doing what they need to do to get to you. But pile number 1, that is what I have for you. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Those things help me and the channel out so much. Share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Let me know what else you'd like to see next. I do keep a running list. Stay tuned for the next poll. We have, I believe, one more reading in the month of August before we move to different, more serious, more deep topics, especially going into fall. So stay tuned for that poll. And I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the Lovers card from the Mythos Tarot deck, and that is the beautiful Aphrodite. I am going to place that right over there. As a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. Also, I did do a reading breakdown at the beginning, which is timestamped below. I highly, highly suggest that you check that out because it's going to tell you exactly what's going to be covered and the format, and that will help you decide if this is the right reading for you. But we are going to start by looking at your future spouse's energy, and we're going to look at the mask. And this is going to be, how does your future spouse show up with others and in the world? And then we're going to look at the hidden self. So who are they beneath the surface? let's get started here. Let's see what we have. So we have the sea serpent, the octopus, very interesting. And we also have limitless. Okay, this person has a very interesting energy so far. Let's take a look at their hidden self. We have the fox. We also have the lamb. And we have love. Oh, that's very sweet. Okay, pile number 2, let's talk about it. So we do have the sea serpent, and in this deck, the sea serpent is a spirit card, so kind of all 12 zodiac signs are represented here. We also have the octopus with water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and we have the fox and the lamb with the element of earth represented on their cards. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. For some reason, the element of earth always just, I draw a blank when I go to say it. I don't know why. But pile number 2, let's talk about who is your future spouse. So we're going to talk about this sea serpent side of them, and then we're going to talk about the fox side of them. So I do think that your future spouse is someone that shows up in a very, I almost want to say, emotionally mature way. I do think this is someone that, from the outside looking in, this is someone that really has a lot of deep emotions. And I also think that this is someone that can come across as like very sensual, very emotionally in tune. There is something that is attractive about your future spouse. I do think there's also something that feels very safe about your future spouse, especially to people when they first meet them. Like, this is someone that feels very inviting, somebody that feels very safe, somebody that feels very available. I think there's something very trustworthy about your future spouse. I also think that there's something almost otherworldly about your future spouse, especially the mask, how they show up in the world. They show up as somebody who is very reliable. They show up as someone who is also very helpful and very available to others. This feels like the type of person that shows up and they take on more than what they have to take on. This feels like the type of person that will take the lead in a group. Like, if they work with other people, they are going to be very helpful. This also feels like somebody that is very busy and is always working on something or doing something. I do think that your future spouse, when it comes to how they show up in the world, they show up as very engaged, right? Like, they show up like they are fully present, especially when they are connecting with other people, when they are talking to other people. This isn't someone who is necessarily like scrolling on the phone. This isn't somebody who is like half paying attention. This is someone that is fully invested, fully interested in what is going on, and fully showing up in the present moment. So this does feel like somebody that can be very grounded in the present moment. I also do think that this is someone that does tend to take on a lot of responsibilities. And I think that's why that octopus is there, because this person really does take on way more at times than they should. And at times they kind of burn themselves out. This person, your future spouse, has a very like helper energy. This could be somebody that does something like teaching. This could be somebody that does something in the service field. This feels like someone that is dealing with people on a regular basis. I also think that your future spouse is someone that is seen as creative. I also think that your future spouse is someone that at times other people may see them as like struggling to break free from their responsibilities. So again, somebody that has a lot of just additional things that they take on, additional responsibilities that they take on. But one thing I will say, pile number 2, your future spouse is not somebody who's going to complain. Your future spouse is actually somebody who's pretty strong, and they're going to just say like, no, I'm fine, I can handle it, I'm like, I don't need anything, I'm good. And I do think they do have a lot of admiration from other people because of their strength, because of how caring they are, because this is somebody that does care very deeply. This is somebody that is very loving. For some, this could be someone that is a therapist. I will say for your future spouse, like, this feels like somebody that could be a therapist, or maybe they have gone through to therapy to work through some things. I do think that your future spouse is also someone that does show either their spirituality or their belief in a higher power, because I do think that this is someone that does believe in something bigger than themselves. There's something very healing about your future spouse's energy, something very kind about their energy, also something that feels almost magical about their energy. This is someone that wants other people to feel good. This is someone that wants the best for other people. And not just loved ones. Like, this feels like the type of person that wants, great things for just everyone that they encounter. I also think that your future spouse shows up as someone who is very active. Again, very busy, very active, very on the go energy. I do think that your future spouse really enjoys like making other people smile, making other people feel good about themselves. So this could be somebody that really enjoys giving out compliments. And I do think that your future spouse is someone that has learned the importance of boundaries. And in some cases, they're still trying to apply those boundaries, but they are learning how to have boundaries, because this is a helper. This is somebody that is like, if you need somebody to help you move, this is the person that you call. If you need somebody to help you go pick something up, this is the person that you call. If you need somebody to watch the kids, this is somebody, like, this is the person that you call when you need someone to talk to, when you need someone just to show up and be there and be a friend. Where some other people may not show up, your future spouse shows up. But let's talk about their hidden side, right? That side that is beneath the surface, the side that not everyone gets to know, because we have the fox here to kick this off, and then we have the lamb. And it's very interesting because in some ways the energies are similar, but the fox is not necessarily as similar to these other energies. So I want to talk about the fox. Because I think one thing about your future spouse is that this is someone who, I want to be careful how I word this because I don't want anyone to misunderstand what I'm going to say. But I do think that this is someone that is a lot smarter than what they may show up on the surface. I also think that your future spouse, because the fox is all about cunning, right? The fox is very, sometimes even like a trickster energy. And I do think that your future spouse has a little bit of that energy underneath the surface. But I also think that this is someone that doesn't really use that part of themselves, and that's why this part of themselves is hidden. I do think that your future spouse is a lot more playful than what they allow other people to see them as. Like, this feels like somebody that does like to have a good time, that is very playful, but also someone that allows responsibilities to lead the way. So what they show the world is their more responsible side, where I do think they have a very playful side that they don't necessarily share. I also think that your future spouse is very instinctual. So this is someone that is very good at picking up on energies, especially environments, right? Like, this is somebody that can really read energy. This is somebody that can really read other people's energy. And I do think that sometimes they do feel overwhelmed by other people's energy. I do think that your future spouse is a lot more impatient than maybe they allow themselves to show to others, because they want to be kind, they want to be compassionate. But I do think sometimes they do grow impatient. I do think this is somebody that does enjoy their quiet time. And sometimes they may not feel like connecting with someone or helping someone out, but they're still going to do it. But I do think that part of that hidden side of them is a part of them that really likes to spend time on their own and do their own thing, and not have to kind of worry about what other people are doing or have to take care of other people. I think a hidden side of your future spouse is also just how much they know. And I think this person is very claircognizant. So I think they have a lot of information and a lot of like vision into situations than what they lead on, or what they want other people to believe or realize. I also think that your future spouse is even more loving than what people realize, which is very interesting because they already come across as like very loving. But I do think that this is somebody that really enjoys love and relationships and connections. Pile number 2, your future spouse is sensitive, but they're not as sensitive as some people would think. Like, this is somebody that is very sturdy, if you will. This is someone that can really protect themselves. I also think that your future spouse is very good at reading people and at seeing through people. And I don't know that everyone realizes just how much your future spouse picks up on. Let's start looking at their secret self. So what do they keep private? And this is going to be kind of like a part 2 to this hidden self. We're just going to get more information as to what they keep private. So for my pile number 2s, for their future spouse, what is it that their future spouse keep private? What is the secret self for their future spouse for my pile number 2s? Bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Wands with Atlanta. And this is the Mythos Tarot deck. Let's see what else we have. We also have the Knight of Swords with Aries. Yeah, this is somebody. Let's keep looking here, and I will tell you everything that there is to say. Then we have the Page of Cups and the 7 of Cups. Pile number 2, what's very interesting is that this is someone, your future spouse is someone, they are a lot, I keep wanting to say cunning, so I'm going to say it. They are a lot more cunning, and that's not a bad thing, than what people realize. They're very sharp, they're very witty, they're very intelligent, they're very wise. And I don't think this person likes to show that part of themselves for some reason. This is someone that leads with kindness. This is someone that leads with compassion. And I do think there's a softness to this person, which by no means makes this person weak. I want to make that clear. But this is someone that on the inside, like what's hidden, what secrets they keep or what they keep private is a lot of what they know and a lot of the abilities that they have to read the energies. They're also very good at seeing through BS. Pile number 2, your future spouse is the type of person that even if they see through something or someone, they're going to let that person dig a hole, and they're going to let them like kind of dig a hole and put themselves in that hole without necessarily like saying like, hey, you know, I know you're full of crap, right? Like until they're fed up, until they're ready. And this is a person that they will let other people kind of keep going just to see how far they're willing to take it. I also think that this is someone that has a lot more going on for them than what they want people to know. This is the type of person that moves in silence. This is the type of person that is very intentional about what they're doing and what they're creating. And they're very, very picky about who they allow into their plans. This person has a lot of ambitions. This person has a lot that they are manifesting and creating, a lot of dreams. Also, a lot of abundance. This person has a lot of abundance that they are creating and that they are working on that they're not sharing with other people. They're making moves. This is a very interesting energy because they're keeping this private. They're not telling anyone what their next move is. They're not telling anyone what they're working on, but there's a lot that your future spouse does on the down low. And they're working very hard on creating specific things for themselves. And I think that this is kind of a pattern for this person, that they kind of work very hard. This person may seem like they are not necessarily doing as much, or like they are not as ambitious, but this is somebody who is very ambitious. This is somebody who's very intelligent, very witty. Again, cunning keeps coming up for this person, not just because that fox is there. This is someone who's building an empire. But they're not sharing that. They don't want people to know what they're doing. They don't want people to know what their next move is. They have a very clear picture of what they are building, and they're not going to share that. So part of what they keep private is their next move. Part of what they keep private is their desires. Pile number 2, something very interesting is some people may be thinking that your future spouse is playing checkers and they're playing chess. That's how this is coming through. Like, this person is doing things that they're not necessarily sharing with everyone. This is someone who's very private. So let's take a look at what is a side that is reserved just for you, pile number 2. For my pile number 2s, what is a side their future spouse will only show my pile number 2s? What is a side of them that is reserved just for my pile number 2s? Let's take a look here, because this person has like very interesting energy. Honestly, this person has very fox energy. The Hermit card with Hermes. We also have 8 of Cups. See what else we have. The 8 of Swords, so 2 8s. And 8 is the number of Saturn, the number of manifestation as well. God, I just dropped that. 1 second. And we have the Tower card. Pile number 2, your future spouse, there's a lot that they're only going to share with you. There's a lot about their inner world. There's a lot about what they're creating. And there's a lot about how they're moving that is only going to be shared with you. So one thing about your future spouse is they are going to share their kind of their plans and what they're creating for the future with you. I also think that when it comes to what they are sharing, or the side of them that is reserved for you, with the Hermit card being at the bottom of the deck, I do think that part of what they're going to share with just you is almost like their inner thoughts and like their deep inner reflections, like what they really think about certain things. Like, this is somebody who, I think for some of you, this person could be like very poetic, very very philosophical for some of you is what's coming through, and they're going to share a lot of those thoughts with you. I also think with the 8 of Cups being here, they're going to share a lot about their past life and situations that they've been through with you. I also think that this person is going to love you so much that that's part of how they're going to, like, this part of them that you're really going to get is like a deep loving side of them. But I think pile number 2, that this is going to be a very spiritual connection for the both of you. And both of you are going to be able to go very deep about your innermost selves, your thoughts, the experiences that you've had, what you are creating for the future, what you want for the future. And I also think that you are both going to push each other forward, that you are both going to help each other get to like the next level. Because there's something about your future spouse that almost feels like so simple in some ways, but what you're going to see, the side that they're going to reserve for you, is that other side of them that is much deeper. I do think this is a relationship where you're both going to challenge one another, especially about beliefs. I do think that your future spouse is also going to kind of just reserve just for you, pile number 2, the side of them that is, I want to be very mindful of how I say this, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm having trouble putting this energy into words, but it almost feels like there's a very protective side to your future spouse. And I do think that this, we talked about this, I do think that this is somebody that's a helper. I do think that this is somebody that shows up for other people, but there's something very fierce about their energy when it comes to you. Like, there's something that is like very protective, very fierce, in a way that their energy is not for anyone else when it comes to you. And I think one thing that they're also going to kind of reserve for you is complete trust. Like, your person is going to completely trust you. Your person is also going to like be a problem solver. Like, if you need them to step up and do something, your future spouse is going to do it. Like, your future spouse is going to make sure that you are taken care of, that if there is a battle that you don't want to deal with, that they can take on, they're going to take it on. I also think that when it comes, I'm going to try to keep this as PG as I can, right? But I do think pile number 2 for your future spouse, there's a side of them that is very erotic that they are going to save just for you. Take that as it resonates. Take that as it sounds. I'm not going to get too much into that. I did do a 18 plus reading on Patreon. It's completely free. It's only on there because I can't put it on Facebook because, I'm sorry, not Facebook. Why am I talking about Facebook? On YouTube because of the images that the cards have. So you can check that out there. And I will be doing another one soon. And it will also live on Patreon for free. I will not charge you. It's not behind a paywall. All right. Pile number 2. Let's take a look. So what is their vulnerable side? What is a fear, wound, or maybe even tender spot that they don't openly share with anyone else when it comes to your future spouse? What is their vulnerable side here? What is a fear, wound, or even just tender spot? We're just trying to go deep and get to know as much about them as possible. That was way more than I thought was going to come out. We have the Star card here. We also have the Knight of Coins or Pentacles, the High Priestess. We have the 6 of Cups. We have the 10 of Coins or Pentacles. And finally, we have the Fool card. So when it comes to your future spouse's vulnerable side, I do think a vulnerable side of your future spouse is what they've been through in their past. I do think for many of you, this is someone that had a difficult childhood. This is someone that has experienced some level of hardship, some challenges. And I know you may be thinking, like, who has not experienced that, right? It's 2025. We're all going through something. But this does feel like somebody that early on, they had some things that came up that had to, that they've had to deal with. I would not be surprised if this is somebody that is like, mom and dad didn't get along, or this is somebody that was kind of on their own growing up, or they lost a parent, or they lost both parents. It could be that they come from a home where the parents or caretakers were separated or divorced. That's coming through here. But there's something about your future spouse where they have some, I think, inner child, or at least when they were a child, they went through some sort of wounding, some sort of challenge that kind of carried forward for them. And they've had to do a lot of self-discovery. I also think that one thing about your future spouse is that this is someone that is going to take their time figuring out who the right person for them is, because this is someone that is afraid of failing, right? Like, this is somebody that doesn't want to go through a divorce. This is someone that wants to find their forever person and be able to kind of stick with them and not go through, like, for this person, it feels like it's very important not to go through some sort of like terrible breakup. And it could be because they've experienced that. But I feel like for most of them, it's more of they've experienced that probably in their childhood. So they are very cautious about opening up. I do think this is a person that really does enjoy being in a relationship and enjoys like being in love, and love is very important to your future spouse. But I also think that they are a bit overly cautious at times about doing the right thing or picking the right person or connecting with the right person. I also do think that this person does have some kind of fear around not being able to provide. So this could be somebody that like really wants to be financially secure before they enter into a relationship, so that they can be sure that they have enough to provide for themselves and their spouse, right? So for themselves and for you. This feels like someone that wants to be very responsible. And I do think that your future spouse can worry at times about not necessarily having enough. That could be something that they struggle with. I want to see what's under. Yeah, the moon card. This person does struggle with like worst case scenario thinking at times. And I also do think that for your future spouse, when something doesn't work out in the way that they thought it would, they can kind of go into this place of like analysis paralysis, of trying to figure out why it didn't work out, why it didn't pan out, and trying to like find the perfect answer and the perfect solution before they allow themselves to move forward. Let's take a look at, we're going to move into what is a hidden strength or blessing that they're going to share with you. So for my pile number 2s, what is a hidden strength or blessing that their future spouse is going to share with them? What is a hidden strength or blessing that their future spouse is going to share with them? 2 of Wands. We also have the 2 of Coins or the 2 of Pentacles. We have the King of Cups. And we have the Chariot card. So pile number 2, when it comes to a hidden strength or blessing that your future spouse is going to share with you, I do think that this is someone that is going to really share. First and foremost, I do think that this is somebody that's very loving. I do think this is somebody that's very caring. And I do think that your future spouse's energy, like when it comes to love, they are very practical in the way that they show up in love. Like they want to make sure that you are taken care of. They want to make sure that you know that they love you and they are doing everything that they need to do to keep you happy and giving you everything that you need. But I think that a big thing that this person is going to bless you with throughout this relationship is this person is really going to take care of you. Not only financially, I do think for most of you, this person is going to be the provider financially. But I also think like this person is going to provide for you emotionally, mentally, spiritually. That is a big blessing of what they are going to bring into your life. I also do think that this person is going to kind of be the leader in the relationship. And I don't mean that like this is someone who's going to expect you to do what they want you to do or anything like that. That's not what I mean by that. But I do feel like this person, they have very clear idea of what they want and how they're going to get there. And I think for a lot of you, pile number 2, there's almost like a relief that your future spouse is so focused and so driven, and that they have their eye on the prize. So this feels like somebody who's really going to like take care of you and the household and take care of what needs to be done. I also think that a big blessing that this person is going to bring into your life is around like what you are going to build together, the legacy that you are going to leave behind together. For some of you, if you and this person have children or if there's children already involved, I think for you, my viewer, pile number 2, there may be even an option as to be like the stay-at-home parent while this person like takes care of other things. That's coming through. Take that as it resonates. So how do you unlock this hidden side of them? What about you helps them open up? What is it about you, pile number 2, that is going to help them open up to you so that you can see this part of them? We have that star card again. Pile number 2, for some of you, you are their muse. That's what it is. The Queen of Swords, the Page of Wands, the Six of Coins, or the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, for some of you, this is really coming through as like you are their muse. Like you keep them going. You like you motivate this person to keep going. You motivate this person to be the best version of themselves that they can be. I also think that what is really going to help them open up is that there is a very deep understanding between you and your future spouse. Like the way that you understand them, the way that you can communicate with them, the way that you both agree on. It's almost like you both speak each other's language. And I also think that you bring a lot of lightheartedness to this person's life. For some of you, pile number 2, it's almost like you even lighten their life, like lighten the load in their life, but also like make their life easier and make their life more more exciting by just being around them. You bring so much love. You bring so much, just like a spark. There's a spark that you light within them. There's a fire that you light within them, and it makes it so easy for them to open up, and it makes it so easy for them to like really show you what you mean to them and share themselves with you. Pile number 2, this is also you both complement each other incredibly well. Like there are things that you bring that your future spouse needs, and there's things that they bring in that you need. So it's like a very complementary relationship where you balance each other out so well. And it's very easy to talk to you. Like for them, it's very easy to open up to you because of the connection that you build, because of the similarities that you share. But I do keep getting like you are this person's muse. So let's take a look at what are they going to love about you. What is your future spouse? Of course, I dropped those. I will pick those up. What is your future spouse going to love about you? Let's see what we have. It's too many. I'm not going to keep them out. It was way too many. So if they want to come back out, they will. I promise, pile number 2, they always do. These cards are very slippery. I will fix them in a minute. But what will pile number 2's future spouse love about them? What will pile number 2's future spouse love about them? Bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Swords. We also have the Page of Coins or the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, the 9 of Cups. You are their wish fulfillment. You're their dream come true. The 4 of Wands. You're everything they ask for. They're so grateful for you. Like they are grateful for your presence. They are grateful for the fact that they got to meet you, for the fact that they got to connect with you. Pile number 2, some of you have like a very beautiful silhouette. Like this person is obsessed with, it could be like your side profile, your silhouette, your shape, your entire body. This person is obsessed. You are like their wish fulfillment. You are exactly what they ask for. They are so grateful to know you. They are so grateful to have you in their life. Pile number 2, I also think that your future spouse is also going to really, let's talk about the physical first, then we're going to get into the other things. Let's do it that way. For some of you, there's something about your face. It's very, like, you have a very beautiful face. You're very attractive. I'm getting face, I'm getting body, I'm getting hands, I'm getting hair. Like, this person is obsessed with you. This is someone that, like, they are so lucky to have you. They can't believe that they have you in their life, that they met you. Like, this is somebody who's going to be obsessed with you their entire life. Like, this is somebody who's not just going to, they're not going to fall out of love with you. They're obsessed with you. Pile number 2. They're going to love how easy to talk to you are. That's a big thing that keeps coming through here. I also think that you two communicate in very similar styles, and it's very easy to talk to one another because it feels like you just understand each other. You're not like, there's no misunderstandings, and even when there are misunderstandings, you can talk through it. I also think that your desire for similar things and your desire to build a life together and to build to have very similar, you both have a very similar outlook of the life that you want together is something that your future spouse is going to love about you. I think they're going to love the connection that they have with you. There's something very comforting about your energy, and I do think that, again, I keep getting like, you're my muse. And I don't even know that this person, for all of you, this person isn't going to necessarily be creative, because there's a lot of you listening to this. But that's how they would describe you. Like, you're my muse. You are, like, you're my everything. That's what keeps coming through from your future spouse. And they're going to love that. It's almost like that you are the light that keeps them going. You are the light that pushes them forward. They also recognize that there is a strong, deep spiritual connection. For some of you, this could be like a divine counterpart or a high-level soulmate. Let's take a look. So let's ask, what is a message from your future spouse's higher self? What message does your future spouse's higher self have for you at this time? What is the message your future spouse's higher self have for you at this time? Bottom of the deck, let's take a look. The Devil card. I don't think I've ever seen that card. That is a very beautiful card. Then we also have the Two of Cups. We have the Three of Wands. And we have the King of Swords. Your future spouse's higher self wants you to know that you are very much connected to your future spouse. They can feel your energy, and I do think pile number 2, you can feel their energy. I also think that you are both going through a period of releasing certain things, and that's what I'm getting. Just like releasing certain things, letting go of what is no longer meant for you. If you heard that, my dog coughed. I will get as much of that out. But I do think this person wants you to know that you are already connected and that you are both working on kind of letting things go and allowing things to fall apart. So if you are going through a period in time where it feels like things are falling apart, it's to make room for this connection. I also do think that you may be already receiving messages from your future spouse. That's coming through here. You may even be able to sense their presence in your life to some extent. Pile number 2. And this Three of Wands is saying this is already manifested. This is already coming together. So if you know this person, this could be somebody that you are already in a relationship with and you're kind of working towards the next level in the relationship. If you haven't met them yet, this Three of Wands is your future spouse's higher self saying this is coming together. For some of you, this is somebody that you're probably going to meet before the end of the year. I do feel October can be very important in some way. Whether that is like you take things to the next level, you meet this person, or there's something that happens very individually for you. It feels like there's a blessing in October that's coming in for my pile number twos. I want to say 17th. October 17th may be an important date. Take it as it resonates. But the month of October as well coming in as important. Let's see what else we have here. So I picked some astrology cards. This is just advice for you, information for you. It can be about the connection, about your future spouse, but it is meant to be more for you. We have third house communication. Yeah, I do think for some of you, you're going to connect with this person very soon, maybe in like the next 2 to 3 months. I also think that, again, you're already connected to one another. You may already be receiving messages from this person, and don't think that you're crazy. Trust what you are getting. And 4 + 1 is 5. In numerology, 5 is all about change. Change is coming. Then we have Chiron with heal. So look at where your Chiron is at in your natal chart, in your transits, what's going on with Chiron. But there could be a level of like a period of healing that you have either recently gone through or are still going through. Again, for this group, there is like letting go, letting things fall apart so that new things can kind of fall into place. And I do think that for some of you, it's also about, some of you may have a Chiron in Scorpio, in the 8th house. Chiron in Sagittarius is coming through as well. Some of you could be October babies. There's something about October that keeps coming through for this group. Let's see what else we have. So we have turn on your heart light, reflect on the time when you experienced love, and bringing in more of the energy of love into your day-to-day life. And I also do think that for my pile number twos, you are either with this person or you can feel their love if you tune in. Let's take a look. We have physical touch. A tender touch can mean so much. I do think that for you and your future spouse, physical touch is going to be one of the ways that you really connect with one another. So that's absolutely coming through here. I also do think that for some of you, like getting some sort of massage or kind of getting some sort of, maybe if it's just like, let me hug a pet, but getting some sort of physical touch can be very helpful at this time. And it could even be like, let me go hug a tree, or let me just, hug myself. That can be a thing. That can absolutely be a thing. Pile number two. But even like a platonic friendship where you can just like spend time with someone can be very helpful. But for those of you where you've already met this person and you are with them, like, again, physical touch is going to be very, very important in the sense that you are both going to enjoy it. You're both going to connect in that way in this partnership, in this connection. Let's see what else we have here. These are for you. We have wonder. It's a wonderful thing to be in a state of wonder. And when I'm a good audience to my life becomes better and better theater. My life becomes better and better theater. When something delightful happens, I can shout encore and be tickled when it happens again. When something maddening happens, I can laugh it off. Either way, I am glad I got a ticket to the show. Then we have nature. It's time to unleash your inner hippie and step outside of that man-made box. Take a walk in the woods, smell those flowers, hug some trees. Hey, I did say hug a tree. Hug some trees. You might think you're being ironic, like, look at me, I'm being all tree huggery and stuff. But you'll find that even then, those trees will hug you back. Trees come from a time before irony, and their earnestness is impervious to our jaded humor. If that doesn't make you want to hug them even more, well, I guess you're a robot. And then we have courage. No one is fearless, no one. But even though I'm not fearless, I am courageous. When fear shows up, I don't run away from it. I use my courage to conquer it. My courage allows me to walk right up to the fear and kick it in the nuts. then quickly hide behind someone bigger until it goes away. Pile number 2, claim this in the comments. I release what no longer serves me and welcome in what is meant for me. I release what no longer serves me and welcome in what is meant for me. That is your affirmation for the week. Claim it in the comments. Let me know what you thought. This is a very interesting reading so far. Just both piles I've done so far have been so interesting. So let me know what you thought in the comments. Let me know if you have a suggestion. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. All of those things help the channel and me out so much, and I appreciate you so much. Also, share the video if you think it's worth sharing. And thank you for being here. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and we will talk soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the Gomez and Morticia Addams Lovers card from the Addams Major Arcana Only Tarot deck. So as a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. Also, at the beginning, I did do a reading breakdown that's going to tell you exactly what's going to be answered, and in the format it's going to be answered in. So I highly, highly suggest that you check that out. That way you know if this is the right reading for you. But we are going to get started. So we're going to look at the mask, how your future spouse shows up with others, and we're going to look at the hidden self. So who are they beneath the surface? And then I will be shuffling on camera for the rest of the reading. And for this group, since this Addams Family Tarot deck is a majors only deck, I will be using the Fairy Tale Tarot. So let's get started. So we have the Hawk and the Vulture as the mask that your future spouse shows to the world. We also have Passion. Let's see what else we have here for the hidden self. We have the Crow. Very interesting energy so far. The Otter. And finally, we have Balance. So let's talk about it. So as far as zodiac signs, I will say for this group, there is a lot of air here. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius can be very significant. Doesn't have to be, but that's coming through. So take it as it resonates. There is also a little bit of water with Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and some fire energy here with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But I will say the most prominent energy for this group is air energy. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, very heavily represented here. But let's talk about your future spouse and how they show up in the world. And then we're going to talk about the hidden self. So we have the Hawk and the Vulture showing up here as almost like that persona, right? And we all have some sort of mask, some sort of face that we put out into the world. And for your future spouse, I think this is someone that can come across as very intelligent. I also think that this is someone that is very detail oriented. That is coming through about your future spouse. They are very intuitive, but they're also very instinctual. I will say for your future spouse, this is someone that comes through as also like, I think the average person can tell that your future spouse has a connection to a higher power. So this could be somebody that is religious. This could be somebody that is spiritual. I also do think that your future spouse has a very good grasp on what is going on around them at all times. This is someone that has a good like a good grasp on different perspectives and on seeing the world through the eyes of different people as well. For my pile number 3s, I also think that your future spouse is very ambitious. This is somebody that once they have their eye on something, they're going to make it happen, and they do come across as very successful. This is like most likely to succeed in a yearbook type of person. Like people see them as someone who is going to reach their goals, and somebody who has big goals as well. This isn't somebody who is playing it small. This is someone who is going for big things. I will also say pile number 3, your future spouse is somebody that is not afraid to course correct or to change the direction that they're going in if they notice that what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish, is not getting them to where they need to be. So this is the type of person that is absolutely going to, figure out that what they're doing is not working, and they don't have to be told. They're not set in their ways. They are going to figure out a way to kind of adjust to either what's happening around them or what requires their attention at any specific moment. Your future spouse is also someone who is very good at communicating. There could be something very powerful about their voice. This could also be about the way that they use their words and the ways they communicate. There's something very, I would even say pleasant about the way that your future spouse communicates. And one thing I will say about your future spouse is that this is someone that has worked very hard throughout their entire life. With the vulture being here, this is someone that has worked their way like from the bottom up. This isn't somebody who has had everything handed to them. This isn't somebody who has had it super easy. I also do think for many of you, your future spouse is doing something that is very near and dear to their heart. This could be something that they're very passionate about, and this could be something that it's almost like a purpose that they are fulfilling in whatever it is that they do, not only for work, but in their day-to-day life. They do have a lot of passion, a lot of care for the things that they do. So this isn't somebody who's just clocking in to get a paycheck. This isn't somebody who's just doing the thing to do it and to get to the other side of it. It feels like they're very passionate. They're very invested in what they are doing. I also do think, pile number 3, that your future spouse is someone who is very practical. So this is someone that knows how to figure out the right next move in a very practical way. This isn't somebody that is super idealistic in that sense, or it's not somebody who is trying to figure out how to get from point 1 to point 2 or from point A to point B. They're very good at being practical and figuring out what needs to be done and getting it done. I also do think that your future spouse is somebody that cares deeply, and they do show that to the world, that they care deeply, that they want the best for themselves, and that they are invested in not only what they're doing, but in the outcome that they're trying to create. And I will say there's something very observant about your future spouse as well. Like, this is somebody who's picking up on the energies around them. This could be somebody who enjoys people watching, or just someone who is very good at reading other people's energies. And I do think that your future spouse can sometimes be aggressive in their pursuit of what they want, and that can be a bit intimidating at times. But they are laser focused. They are laser focused in, and they are going to make sure that they see their projects and whatever they start, this person is going to finish. This is not somebody who's going to stop and go, or this is not somebody who's going to pick things up and then move away from them. Unless they know or they receive more information that it's not working, they're going to see it all the way through. But let's talk about more of your future spouse's hidden self, because I do think this person has a lot of aspects to them that aren't necessarily shared. So one thing that I do think for your future spouse, with the crow being here as far as their hidden self, is that I do think that this is someone that has a very clairvoyant gift. Now, whether they are aware of that and they're actively using that, or it's something that kind of works with them in a very natural and organic way, is going to vary from person to person. But this person has a very clear outlook, and I do think that there's almost a gift type of outlook of being able to see what the next thing to do is and how to respond. And I do think this is someone who is very intuitive. I also think that your future spouse is the type of person that is actually very comfortable with the unknown. This is not somebody who is intimidated. This is not somebody who wants to know everything and how it's going to unfold, I should say. This is someone that does feel like they do enjoy kind of not knowing and going with the flow. I do think that your future spouse is someone that is able to surrender to what is happening at any given moment and kind of ride the waves until they have more information. I also think that your future spouse is way more sensitive than what they allow other people to realize, not only in a sensitive, such as like emotional way, but sensitive as far as how their energy perceives other energies. Like, I do think this is someone that has to constantly ground themselves, because I do think that this is someone that picks up on other energies. And I do think that your future spouse is very selective about who they spend their time with because of this. This is also somebody that doesn't spend their time with people that are like surface level or that are not as passionate or grounded in their day-to-day life. I also think that your future spouse is very wise and even like very intelligent. And I don't think that they share just how wise they are, how intelligent they are. I think there's a lot that your future spouse keeps to themselves. I also think that your future spouse spends a good amount of time kind of doing self study and contemplation. For many of you, this person is going to have either some sort of meditation practice or some sort of exercise routine that they use to kind of keep their energy in check, to keep that like nervous energy in check. For many of you, it's going to be something like a workout routine, or like maybe they go for a walk, they go for a run, they do a lot of exercising, they do a lot of cardio. There's something like that coming through. And I will also say, I do think that your future spouse is someone that is very aware of what is going on with other people. Again, they're very good at reading people. They're very good at picking those energies up, and they know they have to keep themselves balanced. So at times, I would not be surprised if this is a person that kind of takes a break from others and kind of separates themselves from others. And it has nothing to do with the other person, it has everything to do with them. Your future spouse is very loving, very fun, very energetic as well. I do think they prefer to show up in a more stoic nature than what they truly are. They do reserve that playfulness for people close to them. I also think that this is someone that is very satisfied. Like, this is someone that really feels like a glass half full, or at the very least, they're able to look at their life and find things that they are grateful for, find the blessings in their life. I also do think that this person has a very like fun sense of humor. There's something very funny about your future spouse, but they don't show that to everyone. I also do think that this is someone that does enjoy spending time with others. And I think that the way that they present as more of an introvert. But I do think that this is someone that really likes to spend time with the people that they love, especially when it comes to doing activities, something that's fun. There's something very silly that's coming through about your future spouse as well. And this is someone that is full of life. This is someone that is full of ideas, full of desires. Like they're always looking for the next thing that they want to do, but they also have to keep their energy in check because they do understand that they can become unbalanced if they don't honor the needs of their body and their mind as well, because I do think this person needs a good amount of grounding, centering, and a good amount of time out, especially when they're working on important projects. But pile number 3, let's start by looking at their secret self. So what do they keep private? And this can be like an expansion on this hidden self, but this is more of intentionally what are they keeping private, or what are they keeping to themselves. So for my pile number 3s, for their future spouse, what is my pile number 3's future spouse keeping private? What is their secret self? Show me more of this person's secret self. Let's take a look at, it's not that one. All right. Bottom of the deck, let's see what we have. We have the steadfast tin soldier with the 4 of swords. Rest and recuperation are necessary for mental well-being. Take a pause to rejuvenate your mind and spirit, and you'll return stronger. Yeah, this person does need a good amount of breaks. This person does need to kind of recharge on their own from time to time. And I do think that this person needs to honor their energy levels as they move through the world. Let's see what else we have here. So we have the 4 of wands. Celebrate your achievements and the stability you've built. Your hard work has laid the foundation for happiness, harmony, and love. Let's see what else we have here. We have Christoph with the Knight of Cups. Your quest for love and emotional fulfillment leads you on a noble journey. Trust in your romantic nature and pursue your heart's desires. We also have Ursula with the 9 of swords. Trust your intuition even in the midst of uncertainty. Explore the depths of your emotions and subconscious. So pile number 3, as far as your future spouse's hidden self, what they keep to themselves, I think this person is someone who is very discerning. I do think this is someone who is very private when it comes to not only their needs and what they like. This doesn't feel like somebody who is sharing a lot about themselves with just the average person, but this feels like somebody that knows what their body needs and they honor that. And I do think that some of the things that your future spouse kind of keeps private is how their energy tends to fluctuate, like how they are so sensitive to the energies around them, and how they go from sometimes like being completely exhausted and needing a break to their anxiety, because I do think that this is somebody that either struggles with some level of anxiety or they tend to stress and worry a lot, especially when it comes to making sure that they are doing the best job that they can. And what's interesting is that this is someone who is absolutely showing up in the best way that they can. This is somebody that is doing everything that they need to do, but they do stress because they want to do more. They want to make sure everything is either going according to plan, or that they are doing everything that they need to do to shift it in a way that everything goes according to plan. I do think that this is someone that does spend a good amount of time on their own. I said that earlier. I do think they need to kind of recharge and unplug, not just to regain energy, not just to regenerate energy, but also to do a lot of introspection and to figure out what the right next thing for them is and what to do next, and also just to give themselves the break after they've done the thing. But I also think that this is someone that can feel disconnected if they push themselves too hard and if they don't honor their body's needs, because I do think that this is someone that does need a good amount of privacy and a good amount of rest and just a timeout. And I've said this person really needs to go within. This person really needs to kind of spend time with themselves just to tune in to what is happening for them. I also do think that part of what they keep kind of hidden and to themselves when it comes your to your future spouse, pile number 3, with this Knight of Cups being here, it just feels like they are very protective of their energy and their heart. And again, this isn't somebody who is super vocal about what they are going through at any given moment. They do like to have that separation. They do like to have kind of that energy to themselves. And I do think that even though they come across as like so well put together and so positive and so going with the flow, they do go through these periods of self-doubt. They go through these periods of exhaustion. They go through these periods of kind of just needing to check in with themselves and figure out what the right next thing for them is. And this is, I want to emphasize this again. This is someone that is very sensitive to the energies around them. So they do pick up on a lot of what's going on. So kind of going back to center and grounding themselves is very important. So this isn't somebody that shows up in a super vulnerable way. In the outside world, they keep a lot of that to themselves, especially when they're dealing with like worries or stress or anxiety, or when they are feeling a bit down on themselves. They definitely go within and they keep that very private. They keep those thoughts very private. I also think that they keep a lot of what they are working on very private as well. Like by the time the outside world sees what they're working on, they've already been planning, working on it, and executing it for a while. All right, pile number 3, let's take a look at what side is reserved just for you. What is a side of your future spouse that they only show you, that is only reserved for you? For my pile number 3s, what side does my pile number 3's future spouse only reserve for my pile number 3s? All right, let's see. Bottom of the deck, what do we have? The King of Swords with Prince Adam, and that says, your rationality and strategic thinking is your strength. Lead with integrity and fairness as you make decisions that impact others. Let's see what else we have here. Pile number 3. We also have the Queen of Pentacles. Your nurturing and practical nature is a source of stability and abundance. Care for yourself and others, and you'll find prosperity. We also have the Six of Swords. Leave behind turbulent waters for a calmer, more peaceful journey. Transition to a better mental state and brighter days ahead. And then we have the Sun card. Radiance, joy, and positivity. Bask in the light of success and happiness. A new dawn has arrived. So pile number 3, when it comes to the side that is reserved just for you, I think that you are in many ways going to be this person's confidant. I think that you are going to see the side of them that they don't necessarily share with just anyone. And I do think that a lot of what you are going to get from your future spouse that no one else gets, a side that is just reserved for you, is a look into their mind and how their mind works, a look into their process and how their process works. And I also think that your future spouse is going to be very loving, very nurturing towards you. They are going to be very caring. This feels like somebody who could absolutely be very romantic. And I will say that your future spouse feels like romantic in the way of they're going to show up and surprise you with, I don't know, tickets to a show. They're going to show up and bring flowers every so often. They're very nurturing towards you. They are very soft towards you. I don't think they are this kind of soft and kind and emotionally expressive to most people, but when it comes to you, they are absolutely going to reserve that energy for you. I also think that this is someone that is going to share all of their abundance with you in every way that they possibly can, right? This could be material abundance. This could be just them sharing their ideas, their plans for the future. This is them just sharing everything that they have and everything that they love. They are going to share with you. I also do think that this does come with like material abundance and wealth, and they are going to kind of give you anything and everything that you want. But more importantly, they're also going to really be nurturing of your heart, of your mind. They are going to take care of you. This feels like the type of person that is going to give you like a back rub or a foot massage, or they're going to make sure that you come home and there is a nice dinner, or if you're tired, they're going to take you out so that neither one of you has to think about what you're going to do for food, or they're going to order takeout. There's something like very nurturing and very like one step ahead of what you need and making sure that you are receiving everything that you need. They're very generous. That's what's coming through. Like they're very generous, and that's not something that they share with just anyone. I also think that they're going to share like a lot of happy moments. I also think that pile number 3, you're going to be one of the few people that gets to view this person's sense of humor, because there's something about their sense of humor that they don't want to share with just anyone. They don't want to open up to just anyone. And I think that part of what they're going to reserve for you is like that lighthearted side to them, and like that let's go have a good time, let's have fun, not just in the way of sharing their sense of humor with you, but in the way of them also like sharing experiences with you where they're able to let their guard down, where they're able to have a good time and not feel like they have to show up in a very specific way. And with the 6 of Swords being here, they're going to share their personal evolution with you, including a lot of what has made them who they are. A lot of like sharing their experiences that they haven't necessarily shared with other people. Because this is somebody that shows up as a very strong person. And there's a very deep emotional connection here between the two of you, and they're going to share their emotions with you. But this feels like somebody who's going to be very nurturing, very very generous, but also like a very protective energy around you. And I do think that one thing about your future spouse is that they're going, like, once you meet, once you connect, once you establish this relationship, they are going to make it a point to ensure that you are always accounted for in their future plans, that you are always included in where both of you are going, and they're in their choices, the choices that they make on a day-to-day basis. All right, pile number 3, let's take a look at their vulnerable side. So what's a fear, wound, or tender spot that they don't openly share with just anyone? What is a fear, wound, or tender spot that they don't openly share with just anyone? Bottom of the deck, we have Wendy with the 4 of Cups. Reflect on your feelings and emotions. Sometimes what you seek may be right in front of you. Be open to the gift life offers, or the gifts life offers. We also have the 8 of Swords. Feelings of entrapment may be self-imposed. Change your perspective and you'll discover that the way forward is clearer than you thought. We also have Princess Merida with Justice. Balance and fairness are your guiding principles. Seek the truth and make just decisions. The scales of justice are in your hands. Then we have Little Mermaid Ariel with Temperance. Find harmony and balance in all aspects of your life. Seek moderation and patience to achieve your goals. So, pile number 3. When it comes to this person's vulnerable side or any fears, wounds that they have, I do think that your future spouse is someone that stresses a lot. We've been through this, we've talked about this a bit, but it keeps coming up. I do think this is someone that can grow like very stressed, very frustrated with themselves. Like this is somebody that has very high expectations of themselves. And this is someone that doesn't realize that there are only 24 hours in a day. Like this is someone that is constantly wanting to do more, accomplish more, get more done. And they can become frustrated, especially if they feel like they're not working hard enough or fast enough, or they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Because I do think this is somebody that can be very self-critical. This isn't something that they share with the world, right? Because they want to come across as having it all together. And I don't even think that this is from a place of trying to show off or trying to like purposely come across in that way, but it is from a place of not wanting to seem weak, not wanting to seem less than, and feeling like they don't want to complain. This is the type of person that is not going to complain. This is the type of person that is not going to really speak to their troubles. They want to make it seem like they have it all together, and they are going to kind of be very intentional about what they do share. But I do think that this person has a lot of fears around failure and a lot of fears around not being the best version of themselves and not accomplishing the things that they set out. So, and I'm not even talking in like a work finance situation, though I do think it's a big part of it. I mean, as like your future spouse feels like the type of person that wants to make sure that they have the relationship that they want, the spiritual life that they want, the, love and relationships, not only in the romantic sense, but platonic friends. Like they want to show up in very specific ways. And this person can be very hard on themselves when they're not showing up in that way, when they feel like they're not doing everything that they want to do. And I do think that this is someone that can be very self-critical. I also think that this is someone that can also be, with this Eight of Swords being here, this is someone that can feel stuck. And when they feel stuck, they feel very frustrated. And it kind of pushes them to work harder. It motivates them to do more. And I do think that that works for them to some extent, but I also think that that burns out their energy a lot faster, which is why that this person seems to be in a cycle where they kind of need to regenerate so often and kind of take those times out. It's because they're so hard on themselves and they're so they have very high expectations of themselves. And I don't think they realize that they have as many options as they have and that they're going to be okay. Like this is not somebody who is necessarily realizing that they're going to be okay, that they are going to see everything through, that they're going to get to the other side of whatever is going on, especially when they are in it. So this is someone that does require, again, a good amount of grounding, a good amount of centering. And I do think that they are aware of that. I do think that this person is self-aware enough to know that about themselves and that they know how to do the work. But this is a tender spot of like making sure that they keep themselves in check, because they've done a lot of work to be able to keep themselves in check. Let's see pile number 3. So what is a hidden strength or blessing that they're going to share with you? What is a hidden strength or blessing that they're going to share with you? For my pile number 3 is a hidden strength or blessing that their future spouse is going to share with them. Bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Cups with reconnect with the innocence and joy of your past. Nostalgia and heartfelt reunions bring warmth and fond memories to your life. And that's a big thing. Like, they're going to share themselves and the more sensitive side to themselves, the more fun-loving side to themselves. We have the World card here with Rapunzel and Flynn Rider, with completion and fulfillment are within your grasp. You've reached a new level of understanding and achievement. The world is at your feet. We also have Cinderella's fairy godmother with the Hierophant. Open your heart and mind to the wisdom of the ages to discover the sacred knowledge that leads to fulfillment and happiness. And we have the Four of Cups. Reflect on your feelings and emotions. Sometimes what you seek may be right in front of you. Be open to the gifts that life offers. So pile number 3, when it comes to a secret strength or blessing, or a hidden strength or blessing that they'll share with you, I do think this person is going to give you their world. Like, I do think this person is going to give you so much love. This does feel like a soulmate for many of you. This person is going to give you so much love. This person is going to give you the best parts of themselves. They're going to show up, and they want you to have the best. They want you to know that you are loved. They want you to know that you are their world, and they want to be your world in return. And I do think that part of a blessing that they're going to give to you is, and this is going to sound a bit cliche, but like the blessing of their presence and their vulnerability and showing you everything about themselves, like really revealing themselves to you. I also think that this is someone that is in like a material sense going to give you the world and show up for you and give you experiences, right? Like, this could be material items. This could be experiences like trips and like, we're gonna buy your dream house and we're gonna renovate it and we're gonna create like the house to your specifications. Like, this person wants to give you everything, and they also want to share with you their process of how they're going to get there. And they want your input on what they're going to create for the both of you. Pile number 3, I think for many of you, there's an opportunity here for like starting a family, having children that's coming through as well. I also think that a big blessing that they're going to share with you. Take this one as it resonates, because I think for some of you, their family is going to be a blessing in your life. And this could be this person's chosen family, like friends that they have or people that they've connected with for a very long time. This could be the family that they were born into or raised by. But for some of you, that's part of the blessing that's going to come in. There's going to be very important connections in addition to the connection with your future spouse that is going to be very, very beautiful for you. Not only together, but on an individual level. Pile number 3. So how do you unlock this side of them? What about you helps them open up? What about you helps them kind of put their guard down when they are around you? We have Li Shang with the 9 of Wands. You faced challenges with resilience and your strength is unwavering. As you near your goal, remember to push through one final time. Pile number 3, you're very similar to one another. You are also very tenacious. You are also very hardworking, and neither one of you are willing to give up. Let's see what else we have here. Princess Jasmine with the 9 of Pentacles. You'll have achieved financial independence and self-sufficiency. Revel in the beauty and abundance of your accomplishments. Yep. Then we have Prince Charming with the King of Wands with you are a visionary leader. Harness your entrepreneurial spirit and natural authority to bring your creative ideas to life. And we have Pinocchio with the Fool card. Embrace new beginnings and take the leap of faith. Trust in your journey and you will find unexpected opportunities and wisdom. Pile number 3, here's the thing. You are a mirror to one another. I do feel that that is true, especially for this group. And I would not be surprised if some of you are listening to this and you feel like this reading is talking about yourself. Because I do think that part of what helps them open up to you, or what helps you help them open up to you, is the fact that you have a deep understanding of their life experience, what they are going through. And I also think that you are somebody that is very determined. I do think that you're somebody who's very ambitious. I think that you are somebody who's very established. Like, your future spouse is going to want to give you the world, and they are going to give you the world, but they don't have to. Because you already have so much at your disposal. You already have so much going for you that they're going to want to do these things. But there's also this understanding that you don't need it. You don't require it. It's something that they can do, while at the same time knowing that if something happens to them, or whatever the case may be, that you, pile number 3, you stand on your own 2 feet, that you've got this, that you're not somebody who is adding to their load. You're not somebody who they have to kind of take care of because you're not able to take care of yourself. You are somebody who is an equal and someone that they want to spoil, someone that they want to spend time with. And it feels very good to them that, again, you are an equal. You are somebody who has your own life, your own successes, your own desires, your own dreams. And you're also someone, pile number 3, that is very independent, because I do think that there is an element to your future spouse where they would feel absolutely suffocated if they had to deal with someone that was reliant on them or dependent on them to get from point A to point B. For some of you, this person in the past has had to show up and do a lot of caretaking, and they love the fact that they get to do that for you. They get to show up and they get to support you and they get to be with you, but it's not required of them. It's not something that you need. It's not something that you expect. I also think that that what about you helps them open up, the thing about you that helps them open up, is that it's a brand new opportunity for the both of you to start a life together. Like it just feels like both of you have an opportunity to create a new life together and to create the life that you both want together. This feels like a connection, a relationship that is very organic. It doesn't feel rushed. It doesn't feel like anyone is kind of pushing the other person. I also think that you bring a lot of hope and enthusiasm into their life. Like, they want to do things for you. They want to, they're excited to try these things with you and to experience these things with you. So pile number 3, let's take a look at what your future spouse is going to love about you. That is a terrible shuffle. Let's do that again. So for my pile number 3s, what is their future spouse going to love about them? And this could be physical. This could be more internal. But I will say this person has, like, their energy feels like they are like just telling you your praises throughout this entire reading, which is, it's very beautiful. So we have the Page of Swords with curiosity and thirst for knowledge. Drive your intellectual pursuits. Explore new ideas and communicate with a spirit of inquiry. And that's definitely one of the things that they love about you, right? It's your mind. You're very sharp. You're very witty. You're very curious as well. Pile number 3. So we have the 8 of Wands. A surge of energy and progress is on the horizon. Swift developments are coming your way and you must be ready to act. We also have the Emperor. Exercise your authority and leadership wisely. Establish order and structure in your life and you'll find success. And then we have the 4 of Pentacles. While financial security is important, don't hold on to material possessions too tightly. Be generous and open to abundance. Pile number 3. First and foremost, some of you have very beautiful eyes. That's coming through. There's something also about the way that you look at this person. For some of you, like, that you look at them like you want them. You look at them like you're in love with them. Like they can see how you feel about them by the way that you look at them. There's something about your look to them that is reserved just for them. You're also, what they love about you is how expressive you are. I do think that you're someone who you're going to share things with them. You are going to tell them what you are thinking. You are going to tell them what's going through your mind, what you are expecting. I do think you're very stable. I think that they love that you are always kind of ready for an adventure as well. For some of you, you're very outgoing, whether that is like you are actually extroverted and you like to spend time with other people, or it's more reserved for them, but they do love like your adventurous, outgoing spirit. And I do think you're very adventurous for this person. Pile number 3, we're going to keep it as not 18 plus as we can, but this person really does love your adventurous side in the bedroom with them. And that's whether you know them or not. That's something that they will love about you. I think they love your ability to support them as well. And that's why they're going to want to give you so much support, because you have the ability to give them exactly what they need. And they don't even have to necessarily ask for what they need. For some of you, the chest area is chesting. I don't know what that means, but you know what I mean. Some of you, the chest area, that's coming through. That's coming through. Pile number 3, you're very sensual. You're very sensual. They really enjoy that. They really love that about you. I did do an 18 plus reading. It's over on Patreon. It's not behind a paywall. It's completely free. The reason it's there is because I can't post it because the cards, YouTube would not allow me to post it publicly. So it's there. You can check that out. You just have to scroll down a little bit to find it. I will be doing another one soon. So you can join as a free member just to when it comes out, or I will announce it here as well. So make sure you subscribe to know when that comes out. But there's one already on there. Pile number 3, I also think that this person, there's something about like your chest, your neck area that this person, it drives them crazy. For some of you, you have a very unique style. Something about the way that you dress is coming through as well. Something about your touch. It's very sensual. This is a very sensual group. That's what's coming through. I also think that pile number 3, they love the way that you push them forward and the way that you encourage them. Like you're kind and you're understanding, but you're also the type of person that is like pushing them forward to, it's almost like you're the cheerleader that pushes them forward when they feel like they can't do anything or they can't figure it out. Pile number 3, let's take a look at what is a message from your future spouse's higher self. And this could be something that they want you to know right now. This could be something that they want you to know about the relationship. We're going to keep an open mind here. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So your reliability and diligence is your strength. Stay focused on your goals and proceed with patience to achieve success. We also have the Wheel of Fortune. Life is full of cycles. Embrace change with grace, for the wheel is always turning and fortune can swing in your favor. We also have the Three of Swords. Embrace your pain and grief, for healing begins with acknowledging the hurt. In time, the storm will pass and your heart will mend. And we have the Page of Pentacles. Curiosity and a practical approach guide your material pursuits. Explore new opportunities with a grounded and studious mindset. Pile number 3, I think this is kind of a double message, because I think this is telling you what your future spouse is currently working on and going through, but it also is a message for you. We do have the Three of Swords, and I want to start there because when the Three of Swords shows up, it's very all-encompassing energy, right? Like when the Three of Swords shows up, there's a lot that's happening. There's a lot that's coming up that probably requires attention. And this Three of Swords being here, I do think there may be, it's going to be different things for different people. But for some of you, this could be like you are just going through it and your future spouse is going through it because they are ready for this relationship, and either you haven't found each other or you're not where you want to be in the connection. So for some of you, if you know this person, maybe you're going through a rough patch or maybe there's a separation. For others of you, you just haven't met yet and you're starting to get frustrated. The Wheel of Fortune is here because change is happening. The wheel is moving. I also think that this is talking about, one, I think you are moving towards one another, but I think it's taking longer than either of you would like. But there is reassurance that it's in the making. I think as I'm recording this, it's August 2025. This is a timeless reading, but as I'm recording this, it's August 2025. I do think that for this group, like beginning of 2026 or like 6 months from now is going to be significant when it comes to either, if you know this person, taking this to the next level or kind of establishing something more grounded, or meeting this person if you haven't met yet. But I do think that for both of you, things are kind of just not moving as fast as you'd like. And this is your future spouse's higher self coming through and saying, it's okay to be upset. It's okay to feel what's coming through. Just know that it's being worked on and that it will come together, that there is opportunities here for both of you to connect. Now, I did pick some additional cards. These two are going to be more for you, but they can be about the relationship. And these are astrology cards. Let's see what we have. Sun with Source. So creating opportunities, allowing yourself to receive opportunities, and stepping into your purpose, very important. Pile number 3, I also think that this relationship, this connection is a part of your blueprint. Then we have the 5th house, Passion. So this is a good time to do things that are creative or do things that you are passionate about or have some sort of creative outlet as you either work through anything that needs to be worked through or as you allow this to manifest in your life in the way that you desire it. Let's take a look at what we have here. So love makes the difference. Love helps heal past hurts and provides a sense of security and self-worth. And I do think that for both of you, this connection, this relationship is going to be very healing. We also have slow down, pause, and allow things to unfold. Yeah, there's some things that are happening that are coming together behind the scenes so that this can come together. These are advice for you, my viewer. Let's take a look at what we have. So it says magic. I believe in magic. I see evidence of it all the time. And though the tricks can probably be explained away by something sensible and ordinary, I'd rather not ruin the fun. Other people can fill their days with mere coincidence. I fill mine with holy crap, that's unbelievable. So kind of bringing in that sense of magic, that sense of wonder, that sense of gratitude, I think could be very helpful for this group. Then we have confidence. In this moment, I take a step back and look at myself with the pride of a good mother. I see an abundance of abilities and talents that show up all the time in big and little ways. If I could stick myself on a refrigerator, I would. I would invite all of the neighbors over and say, look at that. Can you believe what an A+ that is? And pile number 3, being confident. Not only about yourself, but being confident that what you want is on its way to you. Then we have final card here, abundance. Congratulations. It seems you are due for an infinitely big piece of abundance pie. Feel like you don't deserve it, knock it off. It's already plated and ready to hit your table. Reluctant to take it, shut your hole. Abundance pie is big enough to serve anyone. So get your whipped cream ready, unless you're lactose intolerant, and enjoy your well-deserved metaphorical dessert. Pile number 3, claim it in the comments. I am abundant in all areas of my life. I am abundant in all areas of my life. There is a shift coming for this group, especially if you've been struggling with a little bit of stagnancy, if you've been struggling with stuck energy. I do think things are going to start to move forward very, very soon. Some of you this is not related to love. It could be, doesn't necessarily have to be for all of you. Some of you are going to be receiving something that you have worked hard for or something that you have wished for. It's coming in eclipse season, so keep an eye out. September to like November.